How's it going, guys? Gabe here from RC Cincy, and today I'm pretty excited. It is going to be my first FPV flight, and I'm going to try to record it on the DVR. I'm just going to have this recording as well, but my editing software is terrible, or I'm just terrible at editing, either or. And I really wanted you guys to get a good flight recording on this, but then again, I kind of wanted to talk about a few things, so I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to put this together, if I'm just going to post this video and then immediately post the flight video. So I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to set that up or do it yet, but I'm just going to go with the flow. And these goggles are pretty decent. I have not honestly, I've literally turned it on, maybe gave it a throttle a couple times, flown it not even a minute, just back and forth just to see, make sure it works, and I'm getting good reception. I never really did a flight, you know. So I'm gonna do a flight. Now I decided I'm probably gonna do the flight on the S85, which is like a 100 millimeter drone. Now this has 8mm motors, and it's 100 meters wide, 100 millimeters long, and 100 millimeters wide. So it's a fairly big size drone compared to, you know, your standard small little Whoop. This is actually slightly bigger than the Eachine 010. It's more like the 011 or something like that. This has a 716 motors in it. Has the load button, plenty of power, 7x16. These motors are really powerful for this size drone. It does have an adapter for the FPV. I might do that later on. I'd imagine that's probably going to be harder to fly. This one, honestly, for the indoors in here, honestly, this might be a little bit too big. Especially the size of my house isn't that big, so I just have to be careful and kind of take it easy and just fly around and pretty much learn to fly. You know, with FPV, I've not really done that. It's a nice drone. I like it. I did wreck it one time pretty bad, and ever since then, I feel like one of the props pop off a lot easier than the rest of them. Hopefully, I don't have that issue today. I'm gonna order some props just to have some spares. It did not come with spares. I cannot believe that. I think every single drone should at least come with one or two props. At least two props, a left and a right. That should be just bare minimum. For instance, the Holy Stone, it came with enough to change this, have a total of 6 sets. So this one and 2 more sets. I mean, I said that wrong. Basically a total of 3 sets of propellers, front and back. So that's what I love about Holy Stone. Their customer service, you pay a little more, but you get, you know, 2 batteries minimum. At least for this particular one, you get plenty of props, the prop tools, even a couple of spare little rubber landing gear. The only thing I got with this was the controller, 1 battery, and that's pretty much it, and the charger. And this is the only battery I got with it. This is the high voltage battery. It says 3.8, but actually go up to like 4.35. This one has a discharge of only 25 C. This one does not have that much, honestly. These ones, on the other hand, I did a review on. These things are just unbelievable. So it's really slightly longer, not by much. Hopefully you can see that good. Slightly longer, not by much, but it's a 550. It's 3.8 volts up to 4.35 and 50 to 100 C discharge. So that should give it a nice kick, give it a little more power. I did get 4 of these, and I also bought that multi-charger that I also showed. I'm actually charging the Bolt B batteries. I do call it, I did make the honest mistake of calling it the Bumblebee. It is not the Bumblebee. I shouldn't mention that because you can get in trouble in certain companies, and if they trademarked it, or, you know, Transformers or anything like that, they can give you issues with your YouTube, so it is not that. I apologize. It is called the Bolt B. So I made that mistake before. I'm going to try to change that if I can remember to. And someone had asked me in the prior video the exact, if you actually watch this video, you should be able to pause it where I showed the box, and that's exactly the model number and what this is. These cameras are absolutely amazing. For a 600, it looks very good on the screen, at least this particular screen. And this isn't the highest end one either. And this dipole works really, really well. I personally have this set up to where it has both connectors on it, just because I want to be able to connect it to a battery, disconnect it, connect it to right on the board. So I like having both on there. I'm probably going to get some heat shrink or at least some electrical tape really soon. I just hadn't had time to honestly go get it. And keep these caps on here. You do not want to scratch these lenses. Even though the one that burned out, I actually have extra lens, extra dipole, and a couple other little pieces I could take off of it. So that's nice. So I'm going to put that back here. So what I'm basically going to do is probably do a flight with this if I have enough time. Maybe strap on a FPV camera on this if the batteries are charged in time. I don't know about this one. I'll have to connect a much smaller battery than this 300 because that's the size it actually runs on. Actually, never mind. That's right. It has a plug for it. So long as I don't add too much weight rubber bands and connecting it and just plug it directly in, I should be able to fly with that as well. It does have a load button to give the extra oomph. I think it'll be able to fly. It might be easier with something smaller like this. Depending the amount of room you have, a warehouse would be amazing. When there's no wind outside, that'd be amazing, or a screened-in porch area or something like that. My kitchen is decent size, and then my living room. So I'm gonna try to kind of fly in between the two rooms. I'm not gonna go down a narrow hallway into another room. I'll probably wreck. So, so here's the controller. Very, very simple setup. It works well. These buttons right here, I don't know if I mentioned this in the review. I'm not too fond of these buttons. All the other buttons work perfect. These are like kind of almost sticking, like hard to press. I don't like that at all. So I popped these off before and tried to like set them up differently. If you take these off, the button is very easy to see and very easy to click. So if you took these shoulder buttons off, it would not hurt anything. I might end up doing that depending how well it works. And then that's pretty much it. So I don't know what board this is. This looks like a decent little board on it. You know, 8mm motors are really powerful. It looks like a decent little quad. I'm going to probably be taking off this hash just to see how this is all set up in there. And then that's pretty much it. I'm looking into a couple smaller ones like this. Maybe slightly smaller than this, I'm not sure. You know, an S85 is 100mm, so I'm probably going to go with something like a 65 or 75. That's just a little bit smaller than this. This is almost pushing 4 inches. It's like 3.94 inches. So, you know, it's starting to get up there in size. It's almost as big as the Bolt B. Actually, yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much just as wide, just about. So, this might have just a few millimeters on it. So, you know, that can make it a little bit harder to fly indoors. This should have enough power to fly outdoors. If it's any kind of wind, I would not fly it. So, let's go ahead and first thing you always want to do with this particular setup, throttle all the way down, turn on the controller. Then I'm going to go ahead and turn on the goggles. Slide in the battery. Connect it. Make sure it's the right way. This one only connects a certain way, so I don't want to twist the wire, so I turn the battery towards facing the right way it needs to be. I don't like getting this wire twisted up. There it is. Make sure it's centered. I'm going to try to lay it on this flat surface. Right there. Throttle up, throttle back down. The light changed. And we are connected. So you kind of hear, hopefully you can see, that's in the shot. Seems okay. Okay. And there is our beautiful picture. So what I'm gonna do is press picture record. Do I have to hold it? And let it go. There we go. There's a little red dot right there. I'm gonna go ahead and slide on the goggles. Grab the controller, and then here we go. Oh, that was terrible launch. There we go. It's actually not bad. It's really smooth. A little bit of interference, I don't know from what. Couple little lines. There we go. I just need to work on my throttle management. I haven't flown in a while. I'm like over the couch, well, I'm like past the couch. I'm kind of floating a little bit, trying to get used to it. Whoa, 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 whoa. This does have the flip button, recovery flip, that is nice. You know, tap this down. I'm gonna try to come back in the kitchen. Oh, come on. I got stuck. It slid underneath the, whoops. It kind of slid underneath the oven, so let me grab it real quick. Like the corner of it did. Set it down right there. Make sure the battery's still kind of centered in the middle of it. This one's, you always want to make sure that's centered. I feel like the battery isn't really tight in there. I might do some mod to tighten that up a little bit. Man, I feel like I almost need to calibrate this. Am I laying on a flat tile somewhere? Yeah, I am. I'm gonna try to calibrate this. I think it's both in. I don't know. Let's see what happens here. Oh, let's try the. Yep, it worked. That's awesome. The flip button does work by just barely pressing. By pressing one time, it flipped it over, which you'll see in the video. I do honestly need to work on my throttle management. Kind of bouncing all over the place. Yeah, the flip didn't work that time. It was by a blanket. Whoops. It was by a blanket, and I don't want to burn up the motor, so throttle down. Yeah, it's on top of a blanket. It works mainly like on a harder surface. So there we go, set it on the table. Honestly, it's pretty fun, but it just seems like it's a really big crack for this area. Wow, something's not working. Did the prop come off? Yes, it did. See that one back one? I might have to put a little bit of glue. I know you can do that to tighten them up. They will come off if you put a little bit of super glue on them. It just, I feel like it comes off too easy. The prop isn't damaged. I feel like it pops off too easy, honestly. And it looks like there's glue or something was on there before, so. Something's going on here. Man, that's not wanting to go on there. I don't know why. I feel like there's plastic around it, like it. That's not good. I'm probably gonna need a new prop before I can fly again. It's not wanting to go on. Let me go ahead and. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. I'm gonna go ahead and unplug this while I'm kind of messing with it. Give it a chance to cool off a minute. Yeah, it. Turn this off as well. There's no point wasting power. Like, some plastic came out of the middle, and some of it might have got pushed in there or something, and it like does not want to go onto the motor at all. Don't know why. And the motor is where it needs to be. I don't know what would keep it from going on there. Yeah, that's not gonna work. That cock is done. So I guess I gotta find 40mm props. I don't know the prop. If there's like a number like 1545 or whatever, the angle, whatever the thing is. I know it's 40mm for sure. I don't know anything else. I'll probably get a set of 4. That way they'll all be matching, anyways. That's a bummer, man. I can't even fly now. Oh, wait. Let's go ahead and try this little beast right here. I absolutely love this. So, okay, I'm gonna make sure it's still recording. So, I'll unplug this side because I don't need that. The only trick is gonna be for me is making sure it doesn't contact, you know, something ground itself out or something silly like that. I might double-sided sticky tape it to the, maybe put the canopy on and then double-sided sticky tape it. Let me see. Okay. Okay. I don't think that's going to be long enough to go back up here. That's not going to work. What about... Really, it's a matter of putting this somewhere that's not going to kind of interfere with everything. I really want the canopy on, honestly. Let's try going it this way and then putting the canopy on. You know? Have it going towards the front. And pop this bad boy on. If I get the canopy on. There we go. I got the canopy on, and it looks like it's long enough to double-sided stick it to the front. But it needs to be centered. If it's too much to the front, like right here, it's not going to be centered. So let me pop this off. I don't really want to cut a hole into this canopy. If I had a spare, I would. I'm just going to have to find a way to stick it. Like put maybe this other connector down, and separating it, and just rubber band it like this. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. Give me this good old fashioned rubber band. They are not that heavy. You can get away with rubber band and stuff. I'm trying to put this connector to separate the micro boards like it's a little plastic connector. I want to work a piece of that foam from the micro thing. Let me grab a piece of this foam. I don't think it's gonna, hold on, let me grab a piece of this foam. I wish I remember his name, I apologize. Someone asked me what it is. And this is the model number of this FPV camera. Right there. If you want to pause it real quick. It's GOOTO. I think it's GoTamo GT03-D. AIO 5.8 gigahertz dipole antenna. It's new and it should be $18.99 on Amazon with 2-day shipping, which is incredible. So here's a little piece of foam. I'm gonna trim it a little bit, we don't need that much. And then I'm just gonna kind of stick it in between. Hopefully it keeps it from them two from kind of grounding and touching. Plus I kind of adjust the foam and make it to where hopefully it sits the way I want it to. Perfect. Kind of, you see how it's kind of angled up to a little bit? So there we have it. This is the first time I've ever set up FPV on this. I mean, I plugged it in to see if it works, so I didn't waste my time. But it does work, but what I needed was to just figure out a way to get it on here correctly, nicely. And I'm trying to adjust it to where it's not angled at the ground. So there we go. This is what it would look like. So let's go ahead and I'm excited about this. Make sure I got batteries and the controller. Yep. And I think I charged that. So let's go ahead and turn this on first. There we go. Goggles are on. Let's go ahead and plug up the juice. And we have power. And we got a beautiful picture. I mean, beautiful. I'm gonna hit record. And I'm gonna slide these bad boys on. I'm gonna turn on the controller. Bound. I can't remember what button is the load button. So there's max power. Let's go. Wow, that's difficult. Okay, so the light is flashing on it. No, did I not charge this? Did I not charge that? No wonder why I didn't have the power. So, let's go ahead and turn this off, recording. There we go. Go ahead and power this down. Man, that is a bummer. Let's go ahead and unplug this. And I'm going to charge it on this charger right here. Whoops, sorry, something popped up on the menu. Hopefully it's not in the video. So I need to switch it to lower to 4. We can charge at 6. Get it down a little faster, and boom. There we go. Now, a little whoops. I didn't want to take the rubber band off because it's kind of on the battery. Well, maybe it's not. Yeah, it is. It's on the battery. So I'm just going to